So we're just doing it that way. It is what it is. Okay, so if you want to watch the video, you have to go over there. You can listen to it over here, but I can't unfortunately show it because of how I have things set up. I have my phone for I'm using for TikTok, and YT I'm using my computer. So and unfortunately my other camera isn't the right one, so I can't use that. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so we only have two. Nope, I haven't heard about it. Oh, good. Well, we're going to be talking about it tonight.
I wrote down something because there's some stuff that's missing from the story, like events that he told about that.
Okay. So this is probably going to be a long story. I imagine it's going to be. We have a video, Confessions of a Time Traveler. Here's the thing, the deal. If I don't see anybody over here on YT, which I'm not, so I might just end up switching it to where maybe we're just over on over on TikTok.
Where did we get these t-shirts? I only got 2 for now.
I'll grab.
They're a medium because the large is like
Okay.
on me. All right. I got 2 of them, but if you want a couple more that's different size, I can grab them.
Okay.
I figured I'd ask first, right?
Yeah. You know, I still can't see. Okay, there's nothing over here yet. So I don't know. We'll wait for a few minutes before I see what goes on. You know what? Maybe I should just switch it. Maybe I should put YT on my phone and TikTok on the computer. I'm just afraid because TikTok likes to flag everything. And we're okay of listening to it, which that's what we'll do. We'll just keep it like this. I'm not going to change it because you can listen to it. I mean, you don't really need to watch any kind of watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, so whatever.
My customer brought me a half of it's called a black watermelon.
A black watermelon? Is it black?
No, but it's dark ass green. The middle of it's red. He said it's so sweet.
Really?
It's not in my car. I need to put it in the fridge.
Oh, I want a piece of that. I want to try it. Where did he get it at?
I don't know where he said he got it at.
Have you guys ever had black watermelon before? That's weird. YT is behind. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I have no idea. So I just let it go. I don't know.
I'm gonna go get that and put it.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can stick it in the fridge. Find a spot. Stick it there. That's all right. If you got to set it on top of stuff, whatever.
It's not real big.
You can get it for a short time. Yeah, she has one. She's going to put it in the refrigerator. I told her when she cuts it. Oh, so I don't know if you guys were in here or not. So this weekend, we're not going to be doing any cases or anything. We might, I don't know. It just depends. But it'll be on my phone because we're going camping for the 4th of July. And I'm going to do my best because I thought it'd be pretty cool. Take you guys down the river that we're going to be floating down. It's fun because it's nothing but a big party. Everybody ties their tubes together and goes down. They do, all kinds of stuff, or that stuff. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. I'm not for sure if it's going to work, like with the Wi-Fi and all that with my phone, but we'll try. Hi, Ruthie. How are you? Yeah, she says it wasn't. She says it's red inside like normal. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, so since we got 5 of you, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And then, like I said, when I go play the video, you'll hear it. But that's okay, because that's really all you need to do anyway. And if you haven't yet, please do us a favor. Go over to YT, follow, and like this video, just so that it helps us. Again, our goal is to, grow there also. Okay, so oh, there's nothing over here at all. It's just her. I need to be right. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me fix my camera because it's all kind of, that's what it is. I have one on a tripod and then I have one on my computer. But I want you guys to be able to see all of us. Okay, there we go. All right. So, okay, welcome everybody. And this is Conspiracy Sunday. If you're new here, so every Sunday what we do is we put all the true crime on hold. We take a deep breath and we dive into some of the world's biggest mysteries, conspiracies and unexplained stories. Hold on, I'm a little crooked, I see. Okay. I know. Some of them have evidence behind them. Some of them are internet rabbit holes, and some of them, well, you have to decide for yourself. So tonight's story is one that had us digging for hours, and yeah, and plus more. So, it started with a short video we came across online, and we figured it would be just another fake internet story. But then she found what was it, a movie?
It's a documentary.
Yeah, a documentary. So this is how this became.
Yeah, you can watch it on Tubi or Apple TV. I'm sure it's other places too.
Thank you for the heart me. Welcome in, everybody. I don't know how many there are. Okay, so if you're just joining, we're going to be talking about the
Confessions of a Time Traveler, the man from 3036.
Yeah. So we're just in the beginning, so just grab you some popcorn, get you some beverage, because it's going to be a long one tonight. And we are over on YT, but again, the video will be there, what's playing on YT, but you will be able to hear it over here on TikTok, which is all you need, really. Okay, so the more we looked into it, the more people we found talking about it. TikTok was talking about it, YT was talking about it, Reddit, Bookface, conspiracy groups were convinced there was something to it. And that's when we came across the story of the man who allegedly says, yes, he's from 3036. Now, before we get started, I want to say this. Everything we're talking about tonight comes from claims, online discussion, conspiracy theories, and publicly available information. None of this has been independently proven as facts. So when I say allegedly, that's exactly what I mean. So again, grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's take a second look at one of the internet's strangest rabbit holes. So I'm going to read a few and then you can.
Okay.
So according to the story that has been shared all over the internet, this all begins with the man who suddenly appears in Florida. Now,
and that was in 2020.
Okay. So now one thing I noticed right away is that not everybody tells the story exactly the same. Some people say that he was found wandering around. Others say he was arrested after allegedly stealing food and clothing. Some videos even claim he turned himself in because he didn't know what else to do. That's one of the first things that stood out to us. The details change depending on who's telling the story, but almost every version agrees with one thing. At some point, he's sitting across from investigators and they're trying to figure out who he is. They're asking him normal questions. What's your name? Where are you from? Do you have identification? And according to the story, that's when everything changes. Instead of giving them an address, instead of saying that he was homeless, he allegedly tells them, I'm from year 36. Can you imagine being one of those officers there? I would be like, yeah, right. What are you on? What are you smoking?
Yeah.
Do
They just thought he was.
Yeah, are you okay? Do I need to put you somewhere?
Yep.
Baby Jesus, take the wheel. That's literally, there'd be, yeah. Or maybe he's having some kind of mental health crisis, which, yeah, I mean, that's what you would really think. Yeah.
We're thinking, for real.
Yeah. So they also thought maybe he had somehow ended up there by accident. Hold on a minute. This could drive me crazy. Where's my oh?
Well, you know, when he got arrested at the store for taking the fruits and the clothes, they said he was naked.
That's a good one to know.
I mean,
Really?
if you watch the documentary, that's what it tells you in there.
Yeah. Okay. When I'm done reading this, I'm gonna fix this because it only sees me and not you.
Oh.
And this, I mean, it sees both of us, but okay. So now here's something I found interesting while I was digging. A lot of people online say his real name was never verified. Others claim investigators eventually started calling him Sebastian, but I couldn't find any independent records confirming that that was actually his real name. This seems to be the name that it has spread through the internet after people started discussing the story. Now, this is where TikTok starts to split into two groups. One group says, if this guy was making the whole thing up, why didn't he stick to the same story? The other group says, well, if somebody is committed to a story, they're going to stick to it. So right away, you got people arguing on both sides. Then another question started popping up on Reddit. People wanted to know, okay, if this really did happen, where are the police reports? Hold on a minute. Let me do this. This is easier for me.
And Joe Biden was president when this happened, Ruthie.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden was never president.
Or not. Who did I say?
You said Biden. You mean that old man, that forget-me-not guy?
Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. Joe Biden was president. That's right. Yeah, that
what
old
kind of
man.
stuff are you on?
I don't know. I was thinking, I said the old man that forgets, but I don't know.
The one we got now forgets.
Lord. Okay.
He sleeps while he's doing the conferences.
Yeah, I've heard some things about him. Okay, so if this really happened, where's the police reports? Where's the booking photos? Where's the arrest records? Where's the court documents? Because usually when someone is arrested, there's paper trail somewhere. And honestly, I couldn't find any independent verified police reports or court records confirming their arrest that's described in the online story. Now, does that automatically mean that it's fake? No. Every answer seems to create two more questions. Then I found something else that people couldn't stop talking about. Some believe the lack of records is proof there was some kind of cover up. Others say that there were never any records because the story itself isn't based on a real document event. And that's really where this mystery begins. Before anybody is talking about chips, before anybody's talking about DNA, before they start discussing artificial intelligence, people are already arguing over one simple question: did this man ever exist at all? And I want to throw that question over to you guys. If somebody walked into a police station today and claimed that they were from the year 3036, do you think we'd ever hear about it? Or do you think the story would disappear before the public ever knew? I think it would disappear. But then again, I don't know.
Oh, in 3036, Ruthie, girl, I don't even know, okay? I have no idea.
What?
Who would be the president then? We have no idea. It actually
Yeah.
he says in the documentary that at that time, there is no government officials. There will be 5 big corporations that own the entire world.
I can see it.
That's what he says.
Yeah. As we get deeper in, we'll discuss more, and we'll, we got video on that. So because here the story only gets stranger. Now here's where the story really starts to take off. After people got past the whole I'm from the year 3036 claim, they wanted proof. Because let's be honest, anybody can say that they're from the future. And there is quite a few people that do say that they're from the future. So the question becomes, what makes this guy any different? And that's when people started talking about the alleged chip in his hand. And if you've ever watched the TikTok videos about this case, you probably heard someone mention it. Some creators say investigators supposedly discovered a small implant in his hand. Others say it showed up on x-ray. Some people even claim doctors have never seen anything like it before. Now, here's something I noticed. Depending on where you watch the story from, the chip changes. One person says that it was used for identification. Another says it stored medical records, and someone else claims it was used to communicate. Then another person says it's how people in the future pay for things. See what I mean? The story keeps changing. And that's exactly why we started digging deeper, because if everyone's telling the truth, why can't anybody agree on what the chip actually was for, what it was used for? And then we came across another story. Some people believe the chip wasn't for identification at all. They think it was actually a tracking device. According to theory, everyone in the future is supposedly tracked from birth. No privacy, no cash, no paper records, everything connected digitally. Now remember, that's a theory people discuss online. There's no verified evidence proving that what the chip was for. And I want to mention here real quick. I know that a while back ago, I remember scrolling through TikTok and they were talking about having a chip. And there was supposedly, I don't know, I think it was AI, but I can't be for certain. But he had a chip, and there was somewhere, I think California or something, and he was able to scan his hand, and it did it that way. So I don't, again, I didn't dig really deep into it. I kind of was like, looked at it and then scroll past. So
there was a movie about that. And it was based on a man that was from, I think it was 1975. And he traveled to the year 2036.
Now, I do know that they are kind of trying to do that, from what I understand.
Yeah. Girl, how you know whenever we get a shot, or they was doing them COVID shots, whatever. We don't know.
No, you don't know. Nope. Then I found another group of people saying something completely different. They believe the chip story was made up because if someone really came from over 1,000 years in the future, Why did they only have one tiny piece of advanced technology with them? Wouldn't they have clothing? Wouldn't they have clothing we couldn't identify? Wouldn't they have material we've never seen? Wouldn't they have medicine? Some kind of futuristic tool. And that's true. Like, your clothing changes. Sure, you do, you know, every so often the stuff, your clothes. I'm sorry, like you go back to the 70s style.
Yeah, the eras of the clothing
Yeah.
change.
So, that's a long time from now. So I'm sure there would be companies out there that are no longer here. And then there's really bigger ones like we have Nike and that. So I agree. Those are actually good questions. Then others claim started making the rounds online. Another claim did. People began saying investigators allegedly perform a medical test on him. And that's where the DNA story starts. You've probably seen TikTok claiming his DNA confused doctors. Some videos got even further and said his DNA wasn't fully human. Others claim his blood work did not match anything doctors had seen before. Now, I spent a long time trying to track down those claims and where they came from. And here's what we found. And real quick, I want to say, so remember how we talked, this is a good part to bring this in. Remember how we were doing the missing people scientists?
Yeah.
And that one woman that got on there, she's like the one that she was sitting down on the ground and in her house and saying that she's had people follow her. And she talks about that there's two types of aliens. And it says that one's from, it said there's a name, there's like a letter or something, and then it gives a name. Well, I've dug in a little further, just so I guess there's like 3 different types of aliens.
There's more than that.
Well, what they're claiming is something, the Greys, but then the Greys have an evil Greys to where they're very bad. But what I'm getting at is that's from thousands and thousands of years ahead of us. So who's to say that, they didn't put us here and we're like test lab rats to see, like, maybe at one point aliens bred with something and we came about and they're like, wait a minute, I don't think this is going to last. So let's put them over here because we don't want them to interfere with what we got going on and screw up our planet.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
How we got
like self-destruction.
Like our blood types are like A positive.
And there are some that
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's these ones that they don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like, because they never identified it before.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what year that happened when they finally started seeing it, but
yeah, there's some that carry that. Yep. And just like some still carry the Neanderthal DNA, not a whole lot, but there are some people that do. So
I know a couple.
Carl and Rob, you know what Rob said? Rob told me to tell y'all, I used to go traveling back in 1948. I was a traveler and it just wore me out, so I stopped. I'm like, you're a moron. I could see you walking through a mirror and smacking right into it.
Yeah, Laura, that would make sense to see how long it would take us to destroy the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think it is. I think that and that's why, they hid from us. Of course, we as humans, we were put here and we didn't know about our ancestors or whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. We have no idea. So now, that's why I always said this. There's no way with our planet being as old as it is that we aren't more advanced. because they keep setting it back. Just like they keep erasing things. Like you got, when you got all the whatchamacallit things where Fruit of Loom, where they're saying there's no cornucopia, but there, stuff like
yeah.
that. So they're erasing stuff.
But
That's
people
what
proved it,
right.
Because they have the stuff.
Right. But that's what they're doing. They are every so often they erase it, and it's
Yeah.
like they start from that point, but we end up back some, So we should be way further than what we are. How old is this planet? Like there's no reason that we should be just now starting with AI. Like it's crazy. It's mind-blowing. I've been thinking that for a long time. It just doesn't make sense.
I've looked this up before. 4.54 billion years old.
There you go. Okay, so
with an error margin of about 50 million years. What does that mean? It's estimated to be approximately 4.54 billion years old.
Okay. So that's how old it is. So you're telling me this planet is that old, and we as humans supposedly only been here for how many years? Check and see how many years we've been here.
Oh, that's because they've only found things that carbon date back that far. That's why.
Okay.
And what did you say?
See how long we've been here when we start coming. I know, the Big Bang Theory, all that, but I'm just trying, I can't remember the year or about when. Because it just makes sense that is, they just keep pushing us back. And I mean, it's the alleged government. That's what they do because it's the way to control. If we knew everything, they wouldn't be able to control us and get what they want.
This says only approximately 300,000 years.
Okay, so even still think that 300,000 years. That's a lot of years. And how is it that we are only right where we're at now? It does not make sense. How is it that, we're older than Google? How is that? It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's almost like, we just got reset. Here, we messed up, so let's reset and redo it,
Well, it says that early ancestors began walking upright and making stone tools 2 to 6 million years ago. Modern humans, the earliest fossils remain of Homo sapiens have been dated to around 300,000 years ago. But human civilization, like complex societies and agriculture, has only been 6,000 to 10,000 years.
Okay. Even still, that's a lot of damn years to why, and we're only right here.
Yeah.
And I really do believe it's like a reset that they do every so often. And it would make sense.
Yeah.
And here's what we found out. We couldn't locate any independent verified medical reports, hospital records, or scientific studies confirming those claims. Almost every version of the DNA story tracks back to the same original source that's been reported over and over online. That doesn't mean that people aren't talking about it, because they definitely are. But it does mean there's no publicly verified evidence that those medical tests happened the way people have described them. And then we started reading the comments in there. And honestly, some of them were pretty interesting. One person wrote, if his DNA was really different, why hasn't any scientist ever came forward? Another person replied, maybe they were told not to. And that's where the conspiracy really began. And that's true. Look how long, like, the one scientist that all just, missing or unalived or whatever, they are finally started coming forward, some of them, and look what happened. So of course, they're being told not to, and these scientists are like, I want to say this, like, our people have a right to know what's going on, and if you say something it's you, and then bam, poof.
You know what's weird about that is like on those cases, like the date is back to 2024. But they never started looking into it until this year because there was so many. I forget how many it was. I think it started out at 7, but I think it's now 12 just this year.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Then they started connecting like the ones from Russia and China and other places, and I'm like, it just keeps growing. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
And yeah, and so like I've said too, okay, so like you have those scientists, and of course they're all going to be in that one area because that's where that lab is. There's not a whole, there's only one of those labs. And just like there's only, I think, like 3 buildings that has all of the like the strains of different diseases in.
Oh yeah.
So there's only like 3 of them. So of course you're going to have the people that are working there, they're going to be in that area. So, some of it might be just, it looks like a lot because, they're all right there grouped together. But, you look at another way and it's like, that's an awful lot of people. But we don't know exactly where these people were at. Were they all at that one lab, or was there a couple? But see, there's probably I think there's only like, well, no, there's only
I thought
one
the
of
main
those.
one is like in Antarctica. It's in a frozen tundra of.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, of course, and they're not going to want to drive from BFE to get to their job, So everybody's going to be in the same town, or at least no more than an hour out, So it might look like a lot, but it's really not. And people die every day. So I think some of them are like, I worry that one woman, I can't remember her name, but the one that came out and then she said she was followed and all that. I do believe that one is very suspicious.
That was a recent one, right?
Yeah. No. I don't think it was. No, she wasn't recent, but it's just got brought up recent.
Okay.
But I believe that one's definitely a red flag there. But then there's some that are, they had mental illnesses, they were stressed and worried about how to pay bills and everything, and they ultimately took their lives. So
exactly, Laura. The government doesn't tell us a lot.
No,
really.
And that's
and I never heard of that Baron Trump's excellent adventure when he was a time traveler. She said it's an old book. I've never heard of it, but that's weird.
That is weird. Baron Trump, really? We're gonna have to look into that. That's weird. Okay, so others think that that's exactly the kind of explanation people come up with when there isn't any evidence. Then someone asked a question that made me stop and think. If this man really came from the year 3036, why wasn't anyone ever produced on single verified have produced one single verified piece of technology that couldn't have been made today? So again, I mean, whatever that might be, different type of cell phone that you've never seen before, no futuristic devices, no impossible metals, no unknown elements, nothing. And honestly, that's one of the biggest questions believers still can't answer. But don't worry, because we're just getting started. Once this man started talking about the future, that's when the story goes completely off the rails. He starts making claims about artificial intelligence, money disappearing, a world blackout, and who he believes will actually control the world. And trust me, some of those claims sound surprisingly familiar today. I'm gonna read this last one and then you can read the. All right, now we're getting into the part that made this story spread all over the internet. I don't know if anybody's over here, but if anybody's over here, welcome. Thank you for joining over on YT. We appreciate you. And I keep forgetting. Well, no, because you're right there, so we're
So
good.
that book was written in the 50s and 60s or 60s.
Oh wow. Some of those claims sound surprisingly familiar today. Now, we're getting into the part that made this story spread all over the internet, because once people stopped asking who is this guy, they started asking, okay, if you're really from the future, then tell us what happened. And that's always, when people claim it, we want to know.
Yeah.
Tell us. Don't sit there and BS us and make something up. Tell us. And according to the story that's been shared online, that's exactly what he did. So one of the first things he allegedly said was that the world doesn't end, humanity survives. But according to him, the world changes into ways we can't even imagine. Now, one thing I noticed while I was digging in is that people online don't all agree on exactly what he said. Some versions leave out details, some add details that aren't mentioned anywhere else. So I'm only going to talk about the claims that keep showing up over and over again. The first big one is going to drive me crazy. Artificial intelligence. According to the story, AI eventually becomes part of almost every aspect of daily life. Here you go.
So not just computers, not just phones, everything. Transportation, healthcare, education, and communication. Even the way the government makes decisions. Now I know what some of you are probably thinking. We're already seeing some of that. And you're right. That's exactly why so many people start bringing this story back up over the last couple years. When this story first started making the rounds, AI wasn't nearly as common as it is today. And now you've got AI helping write emails, creating artwork, answering questions, driving cars, doing all kinds of things. Even helping doctors analyze medical images. So you'll see comments online where people say that he warned us. But then skeptics jump in and they make a fair point. They say people have been predicting smarter computers for decades, which they have.
Yep.
So is that really a prediction or just an educated guess? That's something I'll let you decide. But then the story moves into something that gets people talking every single time. According to the claims online, cash eventually disappears. Everything becomes digital. No paper money, no coins, no wallet stuffed with cash. Instead, every transaction is reportedly tracked electronically. Now think about that for a minute. How many of you still carry cash every day? I am a cash only person. I've never had a credit card. I did have a bank account one time.
Now, see, I changed to my card.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to lose cash.
Yeah, not me. I don't like them tracking me.
Yeah, because they do too.
They do. It's none of their business how much I got.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Is that better? Yeah, there we go.
So instead of every transaction is supposedly tracked electronically, now think about that for a minute. How many of you still carry cash today? Okay, I said that already.
Yeah, I know. I do that too.
Because if you're like me, most places now let you tap your phone or your card, and that's why this part gets so much attention. People immediately start connecting it to things happening today. Digital payment apps, online banking, cryptocurrency. Discussions about digital currency issued by governments. Now, I'm not saying any of that proves this story. I'm just saying those are comparisons people make. Then we found another claim that comes up over and over again, that large corporations eventually become more powerful than governments. And we all know that's true.
Yep.
Now, depending on who's telling the story, they'll mention different companies. Some people online specifically bring up major technology companies. Others mention global corporations in general, but the basic idea stays the same. The claim is that corporations eventually have more influence over people's lives than elected governments. And yeah, we know that a lot of that is true. And let me tell you, the comment sections are wild. Some people say we're already heading that way. Others say that's impossible. And then you got another group saying this isn't predicting the future, it just commenting on what's already happening. Which it is. Everybody's transitioning. All this younger generation, that's all they use is their phones and their cars.
Yep.
Mostly their phones. Because I work in a convenience store and they, like, the younger generation, that's what they do. It's all
Yeah.
on their phone, buddy.
Yep.
They're like, hang on, let me transfer this money from here to here. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, you could, yeah, it's on your phone, you know, Apple Pay, and you can now download your cards, even your your driver's license and that could be on
Yep.
there as well.
yep.
So you don't have to, literally, you don't have to do anything. What are you crying about? Who's crying?
I don't know, it sounded like the baby. Okay, so now here's where we want to stop for a second because this is something that we noticed while researching. A lot of predictions people say come from this story involve fears we already have today. Technology, privacy, artificial intelligence, corporate power, and digital money. That's one reason this story sticks with people. It doesn't talk about completely unbelievable things. It talks about things that already make people uneasy. Whether
Yep.
you believe any of it or not, you can probably see why it gets shared so much online. But trust me, we haven't even got to the strangest prediction yet. Because next we're going to talk about something called the Great Blackout. And when I started reading what people believe that means, theories went in completely different directions.
Hold on, look. Look at ours, right? Watch. Because my shirt's black, look. I just had to do it. I just have to notice. I was like, ah.
For a minute, I thought you were going to come in and it was going to be your face on his. Okay.
I'm an idiot. It's all right.
It's okay. So the theories went in completely different directions. Now we get to what a lot of people call the biggest prediction in the entire story. It's something that's referred to online as the Great Blackout. If you've ever been down that hole before, you've probably heard people mention it. According to the story, sometime in the future, the world experiences a massive blackout that changes civilization forever. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard that, you know, on the news and stuff. God, my hair is all crazy. So here's where things get interesting. The man from 3036 never supposedly gives a play-by-play of exactly what happened. That's why the internet has filled in the blanks. And let me tell you, there's a lot of the theories.
Yeah.
Some people believe he's talking about an EMP attack. For anyone who doesn't know what an EMP is, it's an electromagnetic pulse that could potentially damage or disable electronics over a wide area. Others think he's talking about a massive cyber attack. And that's what I would think it would
Yeah.
be.
Yep.
Or something from like a meteor shower type
Yeah.
thing, know.
Yeah, because they keep talking. Well, they were talking. Remember when they said that there was a big old meteor that was going by Earth,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know whatever happened to it. But you know, I mean, something like that.
It said little pieces came to Earth, but the biggest part of it passed us.
Yeah.
And did you guys know that there was a meteor shower yesterday?
I know we missed it, which sucks.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
So anyway, they think he's talking about a massive cyber attack, and they point to how dependent we are on computers now, and say, imagine if someone shut down the power grid. Oh man, that'd be a hot mess.
Yep, that's why I always tell Rob that I keep telling him, I'm like, because our power goes out a lot right here. So I'm like, you know, we need to go get us a generator because
Get you some solar power.
well, yeah, that too. They do have things about on that. Linda is getting solar power on her house,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
it
what I
actually,
want. I have a generator,
yeah,
but I want some solar power.
it's pretty cool how they do it now. To where because you're saving so much money, that extra money that you would be paying will go into like a savings to where you can use that money either to pay off your bill again or you can use it for whatever you want.
But I mean, I've seen people like off grid that they use a windmill.
Yeah, yep.
To-
Windmill with water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She said no, but tonight's she thinks it's supposed to be a strawberry moon. Have to check into that.
Yeah, it was weird last night. It had like this red, like one side of it had this red thing on it.
Maybe that was
weird.
what it was. Is it was last night.
I don't know. I just seen it was
Unless-
supposed to be the meteor shower, but I didn't see what time to watch for it. Which is
Yeah.
probably different places on the
Mm-hmm.
planet, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Lori. It was last night, the strawberry moon, because she said she seen something like red around it.
mm-hmm. So it said, imagine if the someone shut down the power grid. Then you've got another group that believes he was warning about a giant solar flare. Scientists have talked for years about the possibility that a power solar storm could disrupt satellites, communications, GPS, and part of the electric grid. That possibly is real, although no one knows if or when such an event could happen. And of course, there are conspiracy theories. Some people believe governments already know something is coming. Others think corporations would somehow use a crisis to gain more control. I can definitely see that. And some people believe the blackout is symbolic. And some people believe the blackout is symbolic. That it isn't about electricity at all, but about the collapse of the world as we know it. Again, those are theories that people
Laura.
discuss online, not verified facts. And here's something else that we noticed while reading through comments. People started asking when this blackout is supposed to happen, when, and this is where the timeline gets confusing. Some videos claim that he said it happened around 2052. Other people give different years. Some don't mention a year at all. And that's another reason people argue about this story. The details aren't always consistent depending on who's telling it. Then we found another contradiction. Some versions of the story claim technology changes dramatically after the blackout. And I could see that.
Yeah.
Other versions still talk about advanced systems and digital technology continuing afterward. People online can't even agree on how the future supposedly unfolds. And honestly, that's one of the biggest red flags skeptics point to. If everyone is describing the story why do the details keep changing? Then we came across another debate that really caught our attention. Some people believe the blackout prediction isn't really a prediction. They think it's just a broad statement. After all, throughout history, we've had massive power outages, cyber attacks happen, solar storms happen. So critics say the prediction is vague enough that people can make almost anything fit in.
Simpsons say it's already happened. Laura says.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the
How-
Simpson. Yeah.
That's what I wonder. I wonder if that's somebody in the government that is doing that. Because how else would you be able to have all of those predictions? A lot of them
Right.
have come true.
Right.
There's no way. Nobody can just guess that.
When that first started happening, I thought that was the creepiest thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, now how would they predict that 5-6 years ahead of time?
Yeah, there's no way. I think it has to, I believe, in my opinion, I believe it's somebody in the government, because like I said, this world is controlled. We know this. We know who controls
Yep.
it. So they already have what is going to happen in the next 20 years, written down. So they
Yep.
can say, okay, today we got to push this red button because this is going to happen. We got to press the yellow button because that's going to happen. They already have it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's all controlled.
So believers, on the other hand, say that's exactly how someone from the future would talk. Maybe they wouldn't know the exact date. Maybe they couldn't reveal too much without changing history. And there it is again, two completely different ways of looking at the exact same claim. Now I want to ask you guys something. If someone came to you today and said there's going to be a worldwide blackout in the future, would you believe them? Or would you need more than just their word? Because this next part might be the strangest claim of all. The man from 3036 starts talking about what happens to human beings themselves. He claims our bodies change. The way we live changes. And according to the internet, that's where the story really starts to split believers from skeptics. Now we're getting into the part that probably caused more arguments online than anything else. Because according to the story, it isn't just the world that changes. Human beings change too. Now I want to be careful here because this is where a lot of people online start adding things that we couldn't verify. So I'm going to stick with the claims that keep showing up over and over again. One of the biggest claims is that humans in the future are exposed to so much radiation over hundreds of years that their bodies begin to change. And according to the story, people supposedly don't grow hair the way we do today. And I'm talking about hair, all over hair. Head hair, facial hair, your eyebrows, your body hair. Now the second people freak out.
Oh, you son of a...
What'd he do?
He jumped right on my back with his claws
Oh.
in. Where'd he go? Oh, he
Dang it.
ran because he knew. Wait until
Okay,
I get you.
We had a cat attack.
Oh, man, that hurt.
So
Sorry.
they started pointing out that if that's true, why does this guy have eyebrows? Why does he have facial hair? And why does he look like a regular person? And honestly, that's probably one of the biggest contradictions people talk about. Some believers tried explaining it. They said maybe he wasn't born in 3036. Maybe he was born years earlier and simply lived long enough to reach that time. Others suggested maybe people in the future can reverse some of the effects with advanced medicine. But here's the thing, those explanations don't actually come from the original story. Those are theories that people came up with afterward trying to make everything fit.
Shut up, Laura. She's like, if you could have seen your face.
well, at least, okay, well, you got the claws. I just get bitch smacked. or
Oh,
my
man,
hair pulled.
that hurt. He took off running, and then I found he's down at the bottom of the steps, laying there like he never did anything. Oh, dick.
So those are theories people come up with afterward, trying to make everything fit. Then another claim started spreading online. People said humans in the future live much longer than we do today. Some people claim routinely they live well over 100 years.
Now, back in the day, they used to live a long time. In the Bible, it says that they lived a very long time.
300 and 400
Yeah.
years.
Now, if you've noticed, okay, so we do have a lot of people. You're lucky to make it to your 70s. But there are quite a few, not a lot, but it seems like it's kind of getting back up there to where they're starting to live longer than 100.
Yeah.
Which is great, but they, of course, that's not what our government wants.
Yeah, because back in like the cowboy days and back in like the 20s and 30s, like they only lived maybe 30, 40 years.
Yeah. They didn't have all that medicine and that.
Right.
And I think it's all about getting away from all of this stuff, like the foods that we are getting at the store. And I think now, if you're doing your own thing, farming and all that, then you're okay. And I think that you can live longer, because you got all the medicines too.
Yeah, a lot of people are eating a lot more healthy
Mm-hmm.
than what they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some that ain't,
No, I know I'm not.
I say there's days that I don't either.
So, but still, like, you're seeing a lot of this. But then when you talk to those older people that's lived long, like my grandpa, shoot, he was eating and drinking whatever he wanted, and that's what they say. Like the one old woman, she's like 102 or something. She's like, I have a Dr. Pepper every day, and I drink and I smoke and nothing ever happened to me. It's really a lot on your genetics, but also how you were.
My great grandma lived to be 103, and she did a couple shots every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff.
I'm guessing moonshine back then.
Right.
Probably.
And you got to think too, that stuff kills all the bacteria, the bad stuff in you. I mean, that's moonshine.
And I have to say something about that. During the COVID, when I worked, I never sold more beer, cigarettes, wine, and lottery ever.
Yeah.
In the 14 years that I have worked for this place.
Yeah.
As I did during that time. And let me say that everybody that was drinking
was smoking.
None of them people got sick.
Yeah. No.
None of them.
No.
Which I thought was strange.
And also, like my
Made
sister.
Me want to start drinking.
Right. My sister, Rob never got sick. He never got sick, and he drinks. He drinks every day.
Right.
He never once did. Now my sister, she was forced to get the shot because she was in the medical field. Both my sisters, and both of them kept getting sick constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, well, see.
And I got the one and done because I work around a lot of elderly people. And that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done.
I didn't get it, and I should have because, my health, but I wasn't. All I did is I took a mask and wore it.
Oh, I had my little thing in the bag.
Oh, that's all right.
So anyway, some of the claims routinely, some claim people routinely live over 100 years.
My granny, 113. My aunt, 112. That's the Depression. That ate penicillin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So some people claim people routinely live over 100 years. Others say it's even longer. The explanation is advanced medicine, genetic engineering, technology that repairs the body. And again, those are claims that circulate online. There's no evidence any of that actually exists today.
Yes,
then
there is.
Conversations shift to the food.
Yes, there is. Because I came across the thing the other day. And so you know how how the ticks are bad right now?
Oh yeah.
So there is that one tick, the Lone Star tick. If you
Oh,
get
yeah.
bit by it, it causes you to become sick, right? But not only does it cause you to become sick, but you literally you cannot eat anything. You can't eat meat anymore. Like there's very rare like you can't eat beef, you can't eat pork. Pork is number one. They say certain things in food, something to do with some kind of thing that's like in lunch meat and other products, and even stuff in toothpaste that it's in, and also in foods, the
Wow.
same thing. So if it has it in there, that it caused them literally it's an allergic reaction and they can die.
Wow.
So I believe what they're doing, because it's been coming across saying that they are putting all these ticks. I mean, it's blew up. Like ticks are out bad this year, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying the government's doing that because what that does is that modifies your body to where, so you know how all the meats, it goes into this part. You know how I don't know if you've seen that video or heard about it, where they're making fake meat and it's supposed to taste like it,
Oh.
Matt. So think about
It's
it.
disgusting.
You got to think about this, okay? There isn't enough cows in this world and chickens in this world to and pigs, all that, to sustain every single person in the world. Okay. So,
Same with the crops.
right. So there's a guy that went on there. I can't remember his name, but it's something to do with that one guy that says that somebody farted. Probably Nova. Oh God, girl. You know how that one guy says that, we're not we're not making enough humans, like for Bill Gates. Okay. Well, he and somebody else went on and watch out, sorry.
Oh, that
The-
smells good.
Yeah. It's called Emily in Paris. So he's saying, he talked about this like about 5-6 years ago. The only way to get it to where we can all, people won't go hungry, and we can be able to sustain with all this meat and that, is by modifying the human body. So, and he said the best, and this is what he said. I'll find that video. He said this. He said, best way to do that is that the Lone Star tick, because people won't just go and eat, something that somebody tells you to eat, they're gonna be like, no, that, I'm not doing that. Or no, you need to take this pill because it's gonna help you and this and that. Hell no, I ain't doing it. So the best way to do it is put something out like that it literally changes, it modifies your body, inside your body. So now think about that. Now you can't eat all that stuff, and you want that taste of meat, you want it, right? So they make this fake meat that doesn't have that product, that whatever that is in it.
It's gross.
So what do? You can eat that because why? Because it doesn't have it in there.
Well, look, they got fake fruits and vegetables too. I watched this video of these it was like heads of lettuce. They literally took, I don't know what this stuff was. It looked waxy at first, and they kept dipping it in there and rolling it like this, and it literally formed a head of lettuce, and they chopped it open. It looked just like lettuce.
Yeah.
Same with eggs. They're making some kind of weird eggs
I think that
that look just like eggs.
Yeah.
I
really
know.
think that that's what they're doing. That's why, every year, I remember it's been a while now since every year they, around this time, it's, oh man, the ticks are bad this year. And you don't see it, you're like, oh, whatever. And I remember a couple years ago, Rob got bit by a tick and he had to get some medicine for it. So he wouldn't get Lyme disease, but it was just a deer tick. It wasn't the Lone Star. But there, if you look it up, you can look this up. There is so many ticks like all over these deers and everything. And what they're saying is because they made these ticks, they literally made them in a lab to where they can withstand, the cold. Well, now look at the cold. The cold isn't cold anymore. So what's happening? These ticks are not dying off because it's not cold enough to kill them.
Yep.
So they're still living, and they're literally draining these deer, these other animals. I mean, there's millions of ticks on this one video I watched. Millions of ticks on this deer.
Gross.
So I think that's what they're doing. They're modifying us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. It's by force because you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, here, take this. Just like saying, hey, take a pill, and, it'll change the way you think. Well, you're going to be like, absolutely not. I want to be able to think for myself this and that. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to find another way to put that in you through water, through whatever, and bam.
Mm-hmm. They
So,
do too. I mean, we already know the government has done multiple experiments on people.
oh yeah,
They had that island there off in New York that like they tried to interbreed animals and humans and animals and all kind of weird stuff. And they wonder where all these weird creatures are coming from.
yeah, and
I'm
that's what.
telling you.
Yeah, yep. And
They're putting them out there to see what would happen to the ecosystem with it.
yep, and I know I've seen some weird thing, like weird little bugs that I've never seen before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you see them now, and just like with the killer bees, those killer bees never existed.
Right.
They bred those. They made them that way, and then those killer bees now they realize they screwed up because those killer bees are killing all the honeybees and chopping they chop their heads off.
Mm-hmm.
And then look what's happening. And if we don't have those bees, what happens?
All of our
We're
vegetation
screwed.
dies.
Yep, trees, everything.
There's no pollination no more.
Nope. So I'm telling you, it's all by design. Everything is.
Yep.
Yes, we are. We're cloning humans too. There was already the first human cloned.
Oh God, that's been
Yeah.
a long time.
Yep. So
They've been trying to do that a long time.
and now look, you can literally go in and you say you want a baby, they can modify that baby to the way that you want it. Blonde hair, blue eyes,
Yep.
they can do it. If you want
Freckles,
those,
whatever
yep,
you want.
the lips perfect. And also, look at this.
Even their intelligence.
Yes. Look at this now. Notice these young girls. Look how they are shaped now. They never used to be that way.
That's because
Now-
all the hormones and the
Yes.
preservatives and
Yes.
everything in the foods now.
Yep. Just the same, the guys. You see them all buff. They, you're like, how in the hell did you get that way? You're not doing nothing, but they're that way, and they look like a lot of them are starting to look like models. And the girls the same way. They got these figures, and it's just like, that's like an adult body, and you have to pay for that. And now these girls got it. It's crazy. It's been happening for a long time.
Oh yeah.
I remember going to school, and my one friend, we're in middle school, and this girl has triple F breasts, and I mean, she was really huge, and you really never seen that a lot, and that's like where it started, was in the 80s, and here we are. But just wanted to bring that up.
It's
all government.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
So it says the food that people eat in the future is completely different. Natural food becomes harder to find.
Mhm.
Some people claim that most food is manufactured. Others say it's engineered to meet nutritional needs instead of tasting good. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I will say it's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that so many people online connect that idea to today's conversations about processed foods. lab grown meat,
Yep.
and food technology. And it really is.
Yep.
It's strange.
Yep.
I've watched a lot of videos on that stuff where they make what we think is vegetables.
Oh yeah.
And how do you go in the store and know it's not?
Look, if you look up how things are made, there is
It grosses me
yeah,
out.
I watched this one how lunch meat was made. It made me and even chicken nuggets. Girl, I'm telling you, I ate a chicken nugget the other day and all I could think about is how it was this slimy stuff made into these molds. I mean, this stuff, it's crazy how they make the lunch meat. Oh, all that stuff.
Hot dogs and bologna.
Yep, I can't eat them.
Mm.
They say they're all beef. That's another thing. Oh, great. We got a warning. For what? What did we do? Flagged for misinformation.
What? What? Of what?
There is none. It says, should allow our content understand, does not contain the content mentioned, noticed unclear, something else, but it won't let me say something else. Here we go again. Restriction. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable. No,
What?
Are you kidding me?
They are tripping for real.
Two already. Watch, we're gonna be ending up getting
One
shut
back
down.
to back.
Yep, back to back. TikTok, go fuck yourself. Excuse my language. I am so over this. This is conspiracy, TikTok. It is not anything else but conspiracy. I'm so over this. Yeah, exactly. Called the truth. Yeah. This is why it's so hard to be on this platform, is because of this. And that's why we're trying to get over there, because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, it says in there's healthcare.
Allegedly.
According to the claims, diseases that are deadly today become much easier to treat. Medical technology advances far beyond anything we have now. Some people online even believe injuries that would be life-changing today could eventually be repaired. Now, here's something that we found interesting. Most of the predictions that people talk about are impossible. They're just impossible for us right now. And I think that's another reason this story keeps getting attention. It doesn't claim people are living on unicorns or teleporting to another galaxy every afternoon. That would be nice. It talks about technology continuing to improve. Whether you believe that happens naturally or whether you think someone really knew something, that's up to you. But then we stumbled across something that really divided people. A lot of viewers started asking if this man is really from the year 3036. Why doesn't he tell us something we can actually verify?
Oh, thank you, Lucy.
Why not tell us the outcome of tomorrow's lottery or next week's
Right.
headlines, or give us the cure for a disease?
Yep.
Or why not explain a scientific discovery nobody has made yet?
Yes, exactly.
He allegedly refuses because changing history could create unpredictable consequences.
No, I've heard that before, but
Yeah.
it's like, but you came back here, so that's changing it also. Just one little, the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you done are screwed up by
Well, that's why he wanted to try to stay low key. He didn't want a lot of people knowing his story, but he agreed to talk to that. I'm not sure if he would, like, he made the documentary about it, but I'm not sure exactly what he was. Like a news reporter, or, you know, somebody that did documentaries normally. I don't know. It wouldn't really tell me what the person that did this documentary was. So, It just said he was very interested in knowing about the man because when he heard about him being arrested for stealing food and clothes and saying he was from the future, it just made him interested because he wanted to know, like, was this guy crazy? Was he just making it up? Did he have anything substantial he could tell him to make him believe him more?
Yeah.
So the more he talked to him, the more it interested him to hear more.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, it would me too. Welcome in. Thank you guys.
So it said that he allegedly refused because of it could change, history. So some people hear that and think that actually makes sense. Others hear it and immediately say that's the perfect excuse because nobody can prove you wrong. And honestly, I see why both sides make that argument. And this is what we think is fascinating. Even after all these years, people are still debating the exact same questions. Not because of new evidence has come out, but because everyone looks at the story differently. At the same story differently. Some people see warning signs, some people see entertainment, some see a hoax, and some people think, what if there's just enough truth mixed in it to make us question everything?
Yep.
So we're not done yet because next we're going to talk about what the YT creators and the TikTok users and
everybody else in between.
Yeah, conspiracy groups believe are the biggest holes in this entire story. And trust me, some of the questions they ask are really hard to ignore. Now let's get into what the internet calls the biggest holes in this story. Because I'll be honest, the deeper we dug, the more we realize this isn't just people trying to prove the story is true. There are thousands of people trying just as hard to prove it isn't, and some of the questions they asked are actually pretty good.
Let me know when you want me to read, I will.
The first one is if this guy really came from the future, the year 3036, where are the records? Think about it. If somebody was arrested, there should be paperwork. There should be fingerprints.
Yes.
Booking information, court records, something.
Yes,
we spent a long time trying to find independent documentation and couldn't. Now, does that automatically prove it never happened? No. But it's definitely one of the biggest reasons skeptics don't buy the story. Then there's the language. This one came up over and over again also. People kept asking, how does somebody from over 1,000 years in the future speak perfect modern English? And I mean, that could... I'm just saying, like, maybe over time it just didn't change.
Yeah.
Because once it got to a certain point, they just stuck to that language.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think about how much language has changed over the last 1,000 years, which it did. I mean, the English, when it first started, it was different.
Yep.
But now we've got to where we are now, and it stayed the same, except for a lot of slang has been put into it.
Yes, a lot. I mean, a lot.
There's so many words that is the same word, but it has so many different meanings.
Yeah. And then you got that on top. Me personally, I think we need a redo of our language, the spelling at least.
I think they need
because
to
it makes
make
no
it where
sense.
it's easier for us to learn other languages.
They
It
say
should be-
English is the hardest,
I know.
because you got word.
Then how come when we speak English, and it is, let me tell you, it is mind-boggling to try to learn a different language. I mean, if ours is the hardest, then why can't we figure out Chinese or like
Yeah.
Spanish is hard even.
Yeah. French is really hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate how we have one, God, we have one word spelled differently 4 different times that mean the same exact thing. What is up with that?
Yeah.
I'll set that right there. Nova, you gotta go, dude.
She ate some rotten eggs or something.
Girl, cover that nasty ass up, you raunchy
So think
thing.
about this. If someone from the year 1026 walked into the room today,
Okay.
we would definitely struggle to understand each other because the English language was so different.
Hi, Gabby. Welcome in. And okay, Laura.
So why would someone from 3036 sound just like someone living today? And that's a really fair question.
Yeah. You would think it would be definitely different. Like, I don't know, do nano or click, 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 click when you're talking something. Something would, you would think something would change in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead it's the same, and use the same verbiage and all. Yeah, that, I know. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
It definitely, thousands of years later, yeah. It would definitely change.
Something would change.
You'd be like talking, be like, there is a community that does that too.
I know.
I don't know how they get one click to another and it means something else.
I think it's almost like Braille. You know how when you feel the things,
yeah,
or the beats,
so
you know what I mean?
One click means no, 2 means yes. Put together,
3 is maybe.
I'm not making fun of it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Gabby. So we are talking about the time traveler from 3036.
Yeah.
And right now we're just going over some things, and then after that we got a video that we're going to listen to.
Yeah.
We can't play, unfortunately. We've already been flagged twice already.
Yeah.
For misinformation, but it's conspiracy theory.
Right.
Tonight.
So then people started looking at his knowledge, and according to the story, he's from a completely different world, a completely different society, different technology, different customs, different way of living. But people online noticed something. He seemed to understand our world really well. And when I seen that, I thought about that. All day, I thought about that. And it could be like, you know how we can go back and watch old documentary things of things that went on in the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they have that where they can do that.
Yeah. But it would be nice, like, why wouldn't you bring it?
So you would know what it was like.
Yeah.
Because he said he accidentally got teleported. They're not allowed to do that, he said. But somehow he accidentally got that happened to him. And he said at first he didn't even know where he ended up. I don't know. If you watch the documentary, you'll
I'm definitely going to have to watch it.
I've watched it twice.
Hulu? Or is it on
it's
Netflix?
Tubi.
Tubi? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I watched it. Or Apple TV.
Okay.
I'm sure there's other ones that have it by now.
Yeah.
So it said that
yeah, Gabby, is it on? Go look over there. It should be on. I'm over here. It's on. Hold on a minute. Let me see something. Right here. Nobody's on there.
Laura was the only one on there.
Yeah. But I have it on just to see if anybody comes on.
Anyway, it said he seems to understand our world really well, and how conversations work, our modern expressions, questions that people are asking. And some people say, well, maybe he studied history before he came. Others say, or maybe he's just a modern person. Then came one of my favorite questions. If somebody accidentally traveled back over 1,000 years, wouldn't they accidentally reveal something? Maybe a scientific formula, maybe a word nobody's ever heard, maybe a piece of technology we've never imagined. Something, anything. But according to critics, most of his predictions stayed pretty broad. Artificial intelligence, technology improving, digital money, corporations becoming more powerful, things that people already are talking about today. And that's another criticism. Some people say those aren't predictions, they're just logical guesses. Now, here's where Reddit really starts tearing this story apart.
Okay, Gabby.
One user asked if he really wanted people to believe him, why not make one prediction that can be checked within a year? And that question stuck with us because if someone said next Tuesday, this exact thing is going to happen, then we'd have something we could actually test. Disappear. Instead, most of the claims are far enough into the future that none of us can verify them today. Then we found another interesting argument. Some people believe the story was never meant to convince anyone. They think it was designed to get people talking. So think about it. Here we are years later, and we're still sitting here discussing it. Whether you believe it or not, it worked.
Yep.
Now here's something else that we found. A lot of TikTok videos make the story sound like it's all based on newly discovered information. But when we traced most of those claims back, they usually led to older videos, reposts, or discussions repeating the same details. We couldn't find a wave of new, independently verified evidence that suddenly changed the story. What we found was a lot of people interpreting the same claims in different ways, if I could speak. And I actually think that's what keeps this alive. Every time AI makes another leap, people bring this story back up. Every time somebody talks about digital money, people bring this story back up. Every time there's a major power outage, it just keeps getting brought back up. And the story evolves because people keep connecting it to current events. So do you think that's because he actually predicted something, or because people naturally connect old stories to new events? Because there is one final question that nobody seems to be able to answer. Who was this man really? Was he exactly who he claimed to be? Or was he part of an elaborate fictional story that took on a life of its own? Or has the internet simply turned one mysterious tale into something much bigger than it ever started as? And that's what we're going to finish with next. So before we wrap this up, I want to go over something that I think is just as interesting as the story itself. What happened after all this started spreading online, because once people started posting clips on TikTok, everything changed. You had YT creators breaking down every little detail, and Reddit users trying to fact check every claim. Bookface conspiracy groups saying this was one of the most believable time traveler stories they'd ever heard. And then there was another group of people saying this is nothing more than a well-told internet story. And here's something that we noticed also. Almost every time this story starts trending again, it's because something happened in the real world. Artificial intelligence makes another huge jump. People immediately say, remember the man from 3036. There's a conversation about digital money. People bring him up again. When there's a major power outage or something in the world, the comments start filling up with people saying, this is what he warned us about. Now, does that mean he predicted those things? Not necessarily. A lot of those ideas, AI, digital payments, climate concerns, and corporate influence were already being discussed before this story became popular. So different people interpret his claims in different ways. And that's really the key to this whole mystery. The story changes depending on who's telling it. Some people swear there were medical records. Others say there never were. Some people swear there was a mysterious chip, and others say there's no independent proof of it. Some people believe he was questioned by authorities. Others think that part of the story was created later as it spread online. So the more we dug, the more we realized something. People aren't really arguing about one man. They're arguing about one question. Could time travel actually be possible? Because if your answer is no, this entire story falls apart. But if your answer is maybe, then suddenly every little detail starts looking different. Now here's something we found ourselves thinking about while we were researching this. Let's pretend just for a minute that somebody really did show up today claiming they were from the year 3036. Will we believe them or will we laugh? Would scientists study them? Or doctors? Or would people assume they were making everything up? Would social media help spread the story, or would people dismiss it as another viral hoax? Honestly, we don't know. And maybe that's why this story never really goes away. Not because we have proof, but because we don't.
No, Gabby, it's not.
The mystery is what keeps people talking. Now, after spending hours of going down this rabbit hole, here's where we landed. We couldn't find independently verified evidence proving that the man from 3036 is exactly who he claimed to be. We also couldn't find evidence proving that every single online claim about him is true. What we did find was something different. We found one story that has grown bigger every year because people keep adding to it, debating it, questioning it, and connecting it to things happening in the world today. So whether you believe it's a warning, a social experiment, an internet legend, or one of the best modern conspiracy stories ever told, I'll leave that up to you. So now I have a few things like from the documentary that he said, and like he said that he didn't have any hair when he first showed up, and then he said that his hair was starting to grow back because the radiation isn't like that here like it is in the future. So after a few weeks of him being here, like he didn't wear his face mask anymore. He didn't like try to cover himself up like he was at first. And that that's why his hair started growing back. He keeps claiming he has to keep a low profile because if he's caught, they will unalive him. He enjoys going to this one park where he is in Florida, and he likes to like lay in the grass, smell the grass, feel the leaves on the trees, smell them. Like he even put leaves in his pockets.
Huh.
Because he said they don't have that in the year that he's from, because the radiation has literally pretty much killed everything off.
So how are these supposed to live though? Because you got to have trees in that for oxygen.
I don't know. They never got to that part. Which I'll explain why they never got to that part. Okay. So he said he enjoys sitting in the park, listening to the sounds of the birds and seeing the other wildlife at the park. And he loves the leaves on the trees, the grass, and the fresh air. He says that right now we are so oblivious to the technology that we are using, our phones, our tablets, our all of our internet stuff that we're using, like it's putting out so much radiation that like we don't even notice it right now because it's not really affecting anything yet.
Yeah. Yep.
So he tells that in his time there aren't any big animals left.
I can see that.
The zoo that you go to that they have in his time, that the animals you're gonna see are cats and dogs and birds and like squirrels, mice, rats, little rodents. Like that's like the only thing that you're gonna see because it's things that's kind of they can burrow in the ground to live. So
Right. I can see that because there's a lot of animals going extinct. So I can definitely see that.
he also described how in his time that people will live in these homes. They're like sealed pods. You won't be allowed to go out unless whoever it is that's controlling it at the time allows you to come out at certain times. And when you do, you have to have your body covered. You have to wear face masks or respirators because the radiation is so intense that it just constantly makes you sick being exposed
Really?
to it. There won't be no cell phones. You won't drive cars. There won't be any of that, he says.
Really? And does he say why there won't be any cars?
Because of the pollution that everything has caused to the planet. So he did say if we want to make a change to avoid that from happening, we all need to come together now, right now, and change everything that we're doing. We have to change it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of going that way. You got the electric cars.
They're cleaning up the ocean.
Yeah.
That island of trash, they're cleaning that up. And it's been there for, I forget how long, a long time.
Yep.
Which it was caused from hurricanes and things like that through the years that has just washed all that debris and somehow it's kind of all come together.
Yeah.
You know how like when you got grease in your dishwater or something, you drop a Dawn in it and all the grease says whoop. It's kind of like that, I guess. And he also says, well, the person that was doing the documentary said when he started, interviewing this guy, that every time he met with him, because mostly he would meet with him at that park. But he said that every time he would leave, this one specific car was always following him. And at first he thought, but then when it kept happening, then he realized, like, yeah, somebody really is following him. So Sebastian is the guy's name. That's what they started calling him, the man from the future. He told him, like, he don't want them to find where he lives or where he goes or who he talks to because it could be very dangerous for him. So when the guy that was doing the documentary, he was supposed to have one last visit with Sebastian to talk to him about other questions that he had about things, from the future. So he was supposed to meet him at the park at this one day at a time, whatever. He never showed up. So he went to his apartment and he didn't get no answer. Well, then he happened to run into the guy that runs the building, and he said that he hadn't seen him for a few days either. So they knocked on the door again and got no answer. So I don't know, whatever the guy was called that's run the building, he opened the door and they went in there. All his belongings were in there. So then a week later, okay, he did, like during the documentary, he told him that, he said he had that chip and stuff like that. So he asked him if he would be willing to get an x-ray to prove that he had that in there, because he said he could feel it. He let him feel it. He said he could feel something in there, but he couldn't tell what it was. So he agreed. He did go. He did get an X-ray of that. He did let them draw his blood, and they found that his DNA and blood type did not match anything that we have now. And why there's no documentation of any of that or his police report is because what I'm about to tell you, they could have taken it. Because a week after this guy was supposed to interview him, they found a man in that park where he always liked to go, burned alive. His hand that chip would have been in was gone. His face was torn up and burned beyond recognition.
So that could have been him.
So
is there...
I guess when they did the autopsy, they found that the DNA matched what was supposedly at the hospital when he did the X-ray. So the X-ray did show the chip in there.
Uh-huh. Now my question is there an article to back that up?
It was just what the guy said at the end of the documentary.
I wonder if we can find that. We just gotta know where.
And it's weird that, now people try to find, the arrest record, his going to the hospital. Now in the documentary, it shows the X-ray. It shows the chip in his hand.
We have it on that. Yeah. We'll watch it.
So that was really sad, and they believed it was him because that hand that he had that chip in had been taken off. It was gone. They couldn't find it nowhere.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
So that's some of the things in the story, if you watch the documentary that you'll hear. I mean, there's some other things that I didn't put in here, but it's because I want you to watch the documentary.
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good. And it really got you thinking about, what it could be like if we don't do something to change what is going on now.
Right.
Like, what if this is true?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't. It's good because, we don't know. So let's play this and see what this is about. We'll find a couple things on it. Over TikTok, you guys are just going to hear it. You won't be able to see it. You can go over to YT if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, I need a new foot.
Oh, there we go.
It sounds like a plot from a movie. Police are trying to unravel the true identity of a mystery man.
Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Out of a sci-fi movie, when in fact it could be more of a reality than we think.
Scientists now claim time travelers could use parallel dimensions to visit the past.
Police say that it is possible that this guy just has a very active fantasy life.
Can you hear it?
And that it might not be something more nefarious than that.
It was this picture from a security camera police used to identify the man accused of stealing.
It's under investigation what the true motive behind this is. We are exploring his mindset and any possibility that mental health played a role in this.
The one thing police have not been able to figure out, the person's identity.
It was a shock.
Oh, there's the chip in his hand.
Yep.
Wow.
Not only to the public, but to investigators, too.
We received startling information from the state lab regarding the presence of an unknown male profile.
The DA says they are still conducting multiple DNA tests. They won't say where investigators are in the testing process.
There's this mystery person.
No one knew who he was. Traveling back in time in unidentified vehicles.
Losing hope that one day put a face to a man for the future so far.
Oh, yeah.
Person data.
Yeah, he's completely bald. No eyebrows. Don't look like he has any eyelashes. No facial hair, nothing.
It's smooth as a baby's butt.
Yeah.
Base anywhere in the country.
He was not easy to find, but we eventually got in touch with him man from 36.
My name's Jack. I'm a journalist and
Oh, he was a
documentary.
journalist.
Yeah.
I was really intrigued by your story. Just curious if I could have a quick minute of your time to talk. Well, like I was saying, I'm absolutely fascinated by your story, and I'm sure I can speak for everyone when I say this, but I'd like to know more about the
I've
future.
seen that lasagna in your fridge. I'm gonna hate that every day I cook it.
What's that? Why do you say that?
Well, thank you for taking the time to meet us today. So
What part do you like to go to?
Have to wear it.
and why is that?
My immune system. Everybody in the future has to wear masks. Or respirators are going outdoors.
When does this happen?
It's happening right now. I
Wow.
already told you. You're not going to wear any of this stuff. There's nothing good about it.
The official report is that Sebastian, the man from 3036, could not be identified by any official documents whatsoever. It was verified by officials that his name, or at least the name he was using, has never been in any previous databases. This guy basically has no records at all. So that's a pretty big trick.
He smells it. He does that to the grass, the leaves.
I don't know. Maybe we can. I'll have to figure out how we can. I could be able to play it, but you wouldn't be able. Nobody would be able to see it. I'd have to flip the phone around for everybody to see it.
It's definitely very interesting, and I suggest that you all watch it because it's
Yeah.
different.
Here's free as you're ever going to get. Right now.
I gotta turn this
These
off.
are considered the last days of freedom. Your kids won't even see it. So, soak it up. Because the simple-minded as your time period is, you gotta be pretty good. You just don't know it.
What's the population 3036?
The world population,
Yeah.
just over 2 billion people. You know what? You might actually be here when the big blackout happens.
See, now he has
Oh, yeah,
eyebrows.
42.
Yeah.
So you'll be in your 70s by the time that happens.
Okay, so how old did he say he was? Because he's like, you'll be in your 70s by the time it happens, the blackout. Let me rewind that real quick.
You might want to check your paper.
What's the big blackout?
Big blackout, if I'm not mistaken, happens in December 2052. Basically, everything goes dark for upwards of 5 years. The internet, the power, all gets disconnected on the account of what's called terrorists. But many speculate otherwise. Anyway, 5 years, it's turmoil, riots, you name it. It's pretty much one of the worst times. It takes them upwards to 20 years to get the power back online.
Wow.
And even then, it's absolute chaos. Believe it or not, our zoo consists of animals like dogs and cats, rabbits, squirrels. These are considered exotic animals. All of the larger species like lions, tigers, cat species, the larger ones, elephants,
We've got large areas, hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, all designated to wind turbines, reflective mirrors, and solar panels. It's one of the few remaining jobs left for residents, but it's also the most dangerous. When children are first born, they're assigned partners, which are called caring ones. These are basically small robots that monitor the child for health conditions. The caring ones are assigned.
Huh. So let me go try to find that. So if this is actually going to happen, I will be 71 years old when it happens. 2050, 52 is when it's going to happen. Let me find where this is, who has this, so I can go and let's see. We'll watch it all. Oh,
I'll be in my 80s.
Yeah, I doubt I'll even make it by then, but okay, so where's
I don't even want to think about it.
part 1? I need videos. Here we go. Part 11, 15, 13, part 8, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so here we go. So this is going to go from part 1 to part something. We'll just go through these.
It's crazy.
It sounds like a plot from a movie. Police are trying to unravel the true identity of a mystery man.
Time travel. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, when in fact it could be more of a reality than we think.
Find something, time travelers. Could you parallel dimensions to visit past?
Police say that it is possible that this guy just has a very active fantasy life, and that it might not be something more nefarious than that.
Was this picture from a security camera police used to identify the man accused of stealing?
It's under investigation what the true motive behind this is. We are exploring his mindset and the possibility that mental health played out in this.
The one thing police have not been able to figure out, the person's identity. It was a shock, not only to the public, but to investigators too.
Okay, so I'll be 80. I don't know why. Yeah, yeah, Lucy. I was going to say, you're in 80. I'm in 81. You're not going to be 80 years old. You'll be 72, so I'll be like 71.
Are still conducting multiple DNA tests.
I'll be in my 80s.
Yeah.
This mystery person, no one knew we was traveling back in time.
Any missing person database anywhere in the country.
Wow.
So you may have seen this story in the news. Time traveler from 3036 arrested. An identified man gets arrested for stealing. Claims from the year.
And you said this is on what channel?
Tubi. The unknown man has
I'm about to, after this, maybe I'm going to try to
no identification
look it up.
on record. When asked why he was stealing, he told police he thought clothing and food was free in the marketplaces.
Oh, wow.
He later explained this to be part of the new society in the year 3036, the year he is supposedly from in the future.
Maybe I'll get them. I should just have them come back and we can watch it on. Hey, okay. So if you guys want to do me a favor, I'm going to restart the live and I'm going to use my computer instead of the phone. So then I can share this with you guys and you guys can see these videos. So give me 5 minutes.
On the YT?
No, on just on TikTok. Nobody's over here on YT.
Oh.
So just give me 5 minutes and